Hi everyone! I just wanted to show you today my new Cricut cartridge. Well, it's new for me. This is one of the older cartridges called New Arrival by Rob and Bob Studio. I happened to see it when I was at Michael's on half price, and my husband reminded me that we have a few cards to make for some friends and family who have just had a baby, and so I thought, hey, why not pick it up? I just wanted to show you what I do with new cartridges when they come in. I do a couple of things just to save on storage space and also to save time when I actually go ahead and use the cartridge on the Cricut. The first thing I do is I go through the book and I tear out all of the pages that are in the language that I don't normally use. So the French and the Spanish, and I think there's also German as well. And that ends up making your book really nice and thin, and it also makes it, I think, easier to use. The other thing is when I'm using the Cricut, I always refer to the booklet. I like to go through it, choose the image in the booklet and the feature, and that way I'll know exactly which buttons to press. I find it very difficult to use the overlay itself. But one of the problems, one of the problems I find is once I choose the picture and the feature that I want to cut, and I go to the overlay, usually what happens, even for cartridges that I've had for a while and used many times, I end up taking a few minutes to search through all the different pictures on the overlay to try and match it to this one here. Now some of the cartridges have nice, simple, bigger images that are really easy to spot, but some of the other shape cartridges have really similar images, or the images are very detailed, especially on the newer ones. So sometimes it's hard to quickly spot them. And even though it may take a few seconds to find it, it actually does add up in time when you're doing quite a lot of cutting. So what I like to do is, and I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see a bit better. Hopefully you can see my overlay there. Okay. What I do is I label all the rows and the columns on my overlay. So this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I don't write on the actual buttons. I just take a ballpoint pen and I write all the way down the side here. And then across the top, I label the columns with letters. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Then I go back to my booklet and I start with the first image because all the images are in the same order as the overlay. And I label each of them according to the column and row. So in New Arrival, the first picture is the mommy cutout, and that's in the first row and the first column. So that would be 1A. So I've labeled that 1A. The next picture in the booklet is the umbrella, and that's in the button right beside the mommy. So that's 1B. So I've labeled that 1B. And then when you start to go down and you get to the second row, which is the mommy walking the carriage, over here, that's row 2, column A. So I've labeled that 2A, and so on and so forth. So now when I go to use my Cricut and I choose the image that I want, I can easily see exactly where the button is, go to it directly on the cartridge, and then choose whichever feature I need. So I hope that helps you save time and also helps you enjoy your Cricut a little bit more. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.